So anyway, so we got some new mics. We got the lighting is set up a little different. I tried to create. I did the best I could with our help. Rob, Aloha Rob, was with us for a few days and did an amazing work setting all this up. And they're the one that bring us this live stream and many other things that we do all the time. So we're really excited. We did
I want to thanks. But no.
It was the worst time ever. I got to tell you, Mel was like sweating. She was getting, just anxiety because all of this stuff was happening and needed to come out. And we were like, first of all, we were in the middle of a move, and then we had to set this up, and we were in Escondido,
Right,
which
right.
all was great. And I just want to make, so a number of people have asked us over time to get 2 mics, which, thank you, Aloha Rob,
Yeah.
we did. So we have a few people that are really excited about the new mics. And yes,
Oh,
Jeff,
great, thank you.
We have a bigger monitor, so Mel can read it, hopefully, and I can too, and so thank you, Aloha Rob, again. Okay, let's bring up the next question. So Jeff, Judicial Watch has posted a non-citizen, hold on, I gotta pull this down a little bit, a non-citizen
Voter
training in DC via FOIA. How do we American citizens identify non-citizens and keep them from voting? There is going to be a huge number of illegals voting simply because they have state IDs. Or what can be done? Yeah, that's a big problem. No, I wanted to share the conversation that we were having earlier, because the event that we went to tonight, it's in a senior community in Florida, and they are trying to shut down all political groups.
Yeah.
In other words, they don't want political groups to have meetings at the clubhouse, whatever. So one of the things that's interesting about the We the People group, our group, as well as and her mom's We the People group, is it's not billed as political. And I don't think these things are political, is my point. So I don't think freedom is political. I don't think the way that I decide how to raise my child is political. I don't think the way that I decide to treat or not treat myself in the medical sense is political, or the decisions I make, those are not political things. So, and even foreign policy to some extent, I mean, wars, I mean, war is not necessarily a political thing. You could just say that I'm against war. So my point is that there's a lot of way to communicate with people, and because this politics thing, and Mel is kind of talking to me a little bit about why she thought, the 24-hour news cycle has been so politicized and turned into reality TV, but at the same time, that information is good. So we have a bunch more questions coming in.
Excellent.
So, Mel, it's basic color revolution strategy. And you've studied this, we've talked about it a lot. What they want to do is they want to create as much conflict and chaos in the moment that decisions are being made.
Yep.
So, that's why we had January 6th and other things that have happened over time. So we should expect that. Something. Okay.
August.
Okay, Mel and
August.
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 Mel and Rob, at this point, I'm sure that Trump is the best option. But if he doesn't get the central bank out, they will make it look like we won something, but we'll still be slaves, debt slaves, financial slaves. I agree. They keep reinventing themselves, and they keep this system in place. If you think about, the way that I've come to learn more about the central bank and the Fed, basically they're just taking what we would call a VIG off every transaction that occurs. And there was an interesting, you played it, I think, the other day on the live stream, where you had the central banker. He says, well, the government just prints money. And then they said, well, why does the government have to borrow money? And he was like, basically, well, it's complicated. No, it's not complicated. If you have the ability to print money, you don't have to, and then they charge interest, and then that's the whole, model.
The U.S. government can't go bankrupt because we can print our own money.
It obviously begs the question, why exactly are we borrowing in a currency that we print ourselves? I'm waiting for someone to stand up and say, why do we borrow our own currency in the first place?
Like you said, they print the dollar. So why does the government even borrow?
Well, again, some of this stuff gets some of the language that some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do? They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah. So
This guy's
a lot of
making
times,
millions.
at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money and then it uses that money to yeah, I guess I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, because it's like the government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So, I don't think there's anything confusing there.
Okay, so let's go, before we go to this question, I just want to remind everyone what this show is, because it's very different than our normal show. Yeah. Normally, Mel is doing interviews, or we do the news show, but we really wanted to have more of an engagement. And so we started with members.wethepeoplelive. Right, the members.wethepeoplelive show, and that kind of spawned. We added additional platforms, and we really want this interaction. So if you're not subscribed to We the People, members.themelkshowlive.com, please do. We are on this platform, We the People, Locals, Rumble, Wimkin, X, right? And we're just trying to get it out there. I was going to say that you know, when we were originally watching a lot of stuff on YouTube and general, you know, more mainstream channels, and a lot of our friends were there, right? And then when they went through the first purge, remember we used to have to like move the laptop around to different places, and we needed different plugs, and we needed to sign into all different, you know, different sources of media when everything got shut down. So it was very, you know, we had to get very, you know, creative and ingenuity to get the media. Now it's much easier because we have big platforms, but even still, we need to look for the right information. Okay, thank you. One Cluckett. If Trump is in a lawsuit with Stephanopoulos and felt there was a conflict of interest in the debate platform, do you think this could be a setup? You know, this is good versus evil. Okay, so Wayneb, 1958. Some in the truther community are saying that. Okay, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne B.
Okay, are saying that the 2024 election may be delayed. A pause. This might have something to do with a scare event. Have you any intel on this? First of all, we have no idea what the future will bring because it's just we don't have a crystal ball. And you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that anyone knows what exactly is going to roll out. So Lisa's a kind of, you know, what about that Jamie Raskin interview saying that he will not certify a Trump win and will disqualify him on January 6th? I think we have that video too. Didn't we? Did we play that the other day?
Yesterday.
I don't know if you could pull that up, but that was like a terrifying video. Basically, I mean, the way I read it, he's threatening, you know, the people and the government that, you know, no matter what happens, they're just gonna do what they like. When they like when Joe said that I don't care what the Supreme Court says. Now he didn't say that exactly.
Yeah, you
but
did basically.
That's what Nancy says. Fight, fight, fight. Just like someone we know.
Right on, right on. Nancy's a tough one too. Okay.
So we are.
I got a little thumbs up when I did that.
Oh, nice. So we're an hour in here. It's we started a little late, but I don't know how many questions we have left. But we know that the Planet Chaos is turning out of out of control, and it's very tough to keep up. But that's what we're here to do. What else we got? What are your thoughts on what Derek Johnson, aka Rattletrap, I don't know, the Rattletrap 1776 says about laws and orders and art of war, etc.? You know, I'm not. I hope that's all right, but I think we have to. I had a great boss once who always told me that hope is not a strategy, and so we need to be fighting like the battle is lost until we win it.
Okay.
Okay. So the producer does have that video if you wanted to run the Raskin video, but we can take the
kind of
next
an
question.
a-hole.
He is an a-hole. So let's go to the next question.
There's no chance of doing that. Yeah.
Okay, King. I am so anxious about the ridiculous Kamal Walsh fantasy. How can we keep Trump alive, get him in power, and take back our country? I think we are doing all of that. I think we are. He's very much alive. I think he's demonstrating his power every day. Mel was just talking about his press conference today, and I think we are taking back our country. One step at a
Honestly,
time.
I also